Rocks and soil. Our earth is made up of rocks and minerals. Most of the things we use in our daily life are made from the materials we obtain from the earth. Soil, which is used to grow crops, is also obtained from the rocks. Rocks are widely used as building material. Soil is nothing else but powdered form of rocks. Rocks. Rocks are found everywhere on the earth. Rocks are made up of two or more minerals. According to their size, color, shape, composition, and use, rocks are of various kinds. Rocks exist in both hard as well as soft form in the nature. Some of the soft forms of the rocks are limestone, sandstone, slate stone, talk stone, etc. On the other hand, some of the hard forms of the rocks are granite, marble, pegmatite, etc. Due to continuous action of wind, temperature and water, rocks break down into many smaller pieces. With passage of time, these small pieces finally turn into sand. These sand particles combine with decaying organisms and form soil at the end. In hilly and rocky areas, different kinds of rocks are used for the purpose of building houses. These rocks are available in abundance at such places. Amazing fact! A marble may last as long as 251 million years to 542 million years. Pebbles and gravel. Pebbles and gravel neither belong to the category of rocks nor soil. In actual, a pebble is a nearly round-shaped cluster of rock. Pebbles are smooth in nature. Pebbles are only a smaller version of smooth-surfaced stone. On the other hand, gravel is mixture of rock fragments. They are coarser in nature than sand. In actual, gravel is loose aggregation of rocks fragments. Both pebbles and gravel are formed during the process of soil formation. Due to their soft nature and attractive look, pebbles and gravel are widely used for the purpose of decoration. Some of their common uses are as follows. Gravel is used widely in the surfacing of roads, driveways, walkways, etc. Pebbles are used in decorating parks, gardens, fountains, flooring, statues, etc. They are also used in aquariums. Soil. Topmost layer of the earth's surface is known as soil. Soil consists of sand, decaying organisms, minerals, water, and air. Soil is necessary for the growth of plants. We get food and oxygen from plants. Thus, we can say that soil is important for humans. It indirectly fulfills our needs. That is why soil is termed as one of the essential constituents for life on the earth. Formation of soil. Soil is nothing else but powdered form of rocks. Due to continuous action of wind and water, weathering, big rocks break down into smaller pieces. These smaller pieces are called sand particles. These sand particles mix with humus to form soil. Soil also contains water and air. Formation of soil from rocks is a slow process. It takes hundreds and thousands of years. Formation of soil depends on the atmospheric conditions. Process of conversion of big pieces of rocks into sand particles due to action of water and air is known as weathering. Soil formation is a result of weathering of rocks and minerals. Due to heat received from the sun, hard rocks present on the earth's surface get heated up. These hot rocks cool down by the action of wind and rain. This cycle keeps on repeating. Thermal cracks develop in these rocks due to this continuous heating and cooling. These cracks lead to breaking of rocks into smaller pieces. Wind and water carry away these smaller pieces of rock with them. Due to rubbing against each other, these smaller pieces break down into tiny particles. Initially, they form pebbles followed by gravel and finally make sand. These sand particles get mixed with the decaying organisms present on the Earth's surface and form soil. Composition of soil. As obvious from earlier study, soil is made up of various particles. Main constituent of soil is sand. It is the elementary constituent of all kinds of soil. Second important constituent of soil is silt. It is fine sand carried by running water. Clay is another important constituent of soil. It is finely grained sand. Besides all these, soil also contains minerals, mainly nitrogen, calcium, iron, and potassium, decaying organisms, humus, pebbles, and gravel. Air and water also get trapped between the soil particles. Mixture of all these constituents is definite proportion forms soil. Types of soil. According to amount of presence of different constituent particles, soil is broadly categorized in 3 categories. These are sandy soil, clayey soil, and loamy soil. Sandy soil. As appears by its name, sandy soil contains greater proportion of sand particles. Sandy soil is rough and gritty in physical appearance. It is non-sticky in nature even when wet. It shows poor water holding capacity and drains most of it. Clayey soil. As appears by its name, clay soil contains greater proportion of clay particles. Clay soil is soft and fine in physical appearance. It is sticky in nature when wet. It shows greater water holding capacity and is more suitable for farming purpose. Loamy soil. Loamy soil is a mixture of sand, silt, and clay in appropriate proportion. It contains minerals and humus. It has a greater water holding capacity. It also allows air to pass through it. That is why loamy soil is best soil for farming purpose. Soil profile. Soil profile stands for the layers of soil. Soil is broadly made up of 3 layers. These are known as topsoil, subsoil, and bedrock. Topsoil is the uppermost layer of the soil. Topsoil contains fine particles of sand, silt, clay, and decaying organisms or humus. Topsoil also contains air and water. The layer below topsoil is known as subsoil. Subsoil contains small pieces of rocks. Lowermost layer of the soil is called bedrock. It contains large pieces of rocks and exists quite deep inside the earth. Soil erosion. As obvious from earlier studies, soil consists of 3 layers. The uppermost layer of soil is called topsoil. Middle layer is known as subsoil, while lowermost layer is known as bedrock. Uppermost layer of the soil, known as topsoil, contains minerals and humus and is very fertile in nature. It is made up of sand, silt, clay, and other fertile constituents and is very fine, smooth, and light in nature. Due to action of wind and rain, this topsoil layer of soil gets eroded. Thus, soil erosion may be defined as the removal of uppermost fertile layer of the soil, known as topsoil, by the action of wind and rain. There are some other factors too which are equally responsible for soil erosion. Soil erosion is a naturally occurring process. Amount of soil eroded gets balanced by soil formed in nature. Although soil erosion is a natural process, but various human activities affect it too. Some of the major factors responsible for soil erosion are deforestation, excessive cutting of trees, building of roads, setting up of industries, etc. Due to all these factors, rate of soil erosion exceeds the pace of soil formation, which is a serious threat. To stop soil erosion, we need to take immediate measures. Soil conservation. To minimize soil erosion, we need to conserve the soil. Due to industrialization and other human activities, rate of soil erosion has rapidly increased in past few decades. For the conservation of soil, these measures are needed to be taken into account. Plantation. One of the main reasons of soil erosion is deforestation. The roots of plants act as a binder and bind soil particles together. This prevents them from getting eroded. Due to this advantage, more and more plantations need to be done. Terrace farming. In hilly areas, terrace farming is adopted to avoid soil erosion. Terraces are made along the slopes, which reduces the force of water with which it comes down the slopes. Due to this, water loses its momentum while coming down from the slope, and thus soil does not get eroded. Constructing dams. One of the prime reasons of soil erosions is flood. By controlling the flood, we can also prevent soil erosion. Construction of dams is an effective way to control the floods. Thus, by constructing dams, we can conserve the soil. Stopping overgrazing. As mentioned earlier, plants act as a binder and roots of the plants bind soil particles together. This prevents soil erosion. But due to overgrazing, top layer of the soil becomes loose. This loose layer can be easily eroded. To conserve the soil, there is a need of stopping overgrazing.